All right, so it's Friday and just after 8 a.m. and you know what this means. We have something special for you and a very special guest with us this very morning. Sis Lebo Sekgobela.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm so happy to see you. How are you?
I'm highly favored and I'm sitting on the royalty chair. I mean, like, somebody had to give me this chair, so I feel good.
Oh, man. Thanks for coming.
Good to be here.
Hallelujah Umdumaseni.
Yeah.
I downloaded your album last night, Spotify.
He did?
I did. And what I love is the number of people listening to the tracks. Have you looked at the Spotify numbers recently?
Yeah.
Can I do them for you very
Yes,
quickly?
please.
So,
Numbers.
Hallelujah Umdumaseni, the live. And I think that's what everyone loves about you, is how good you are live. Over 1.5 million listens on Spotify for Hallelujah. Lion of Judah, which everyone, of course, will know. Close to 1.6 million. Wow. You didn't know that. How does that make you feel? It's a great album, by the way. It's on my Spotify.
I'm like totally in awe.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm like, I never look at the numbers.
Why?
Because I always have a red pen. So I would like to know, where should I correct? What should I do?
Right.
Yeah.
But how does it feel knowing that you influence and bless and almost help so many people in their millions, people who are looking for answers, searching for truth and searching for a closer connection with God, and they can almost find that in your music?
Sure. I think I always make sure that it starts with me, because I also am a human being. I go through trials, tribulations, and stuff. So I make sure that the music starts with me, you know, before it goes to somebody else. So it makes it easier to sing it then, because, you know, it's just like you. Before you come here, you need to read your script and know what to say. You know, it needs to indulge in you before you speak it out. So I make sure that I do that, so that I may understand the hearts of the people that I'm ministering to, because I've went through that. If it's sickness and we're speaking healing, you know, because I've went through that, so I would know what to say to someone. Yeah.
If you listen to the lyrics that I've been able to pick up on and the reaction to the songs, struggle, resilience, and those struggles you've gone through, how is it that you're able to bring such a hopeful tone to the words and to the music, knowing everything that you've gone through?
Yeah.
You still bring that hope in. How do you manage to get that right without making it sound airy-fairy?
Sure. Literally, you know, just knowing that there's a God who loves me, it made it easy. You know, I was telling somebody yesterday when we were speaking in one interview, you know, to say that growing up knowing that your mom is a domestic worker and knowing that you're not staying with your dad, you know, so you don't feel the love that other kids, you know, feel where they run to their daddies and stuff. You know, but yes, he was there. I'm grateful that, you know, he produced, you know, someone like me, you know, but we never, you know, probably in the black community or something, but we never get time where our parents would come and say, you know, I love you. We never got that. So, but just hearing about there's a God who just says, I love you. You know, you are important to me. And that made me to feel like, you know what, I can tell people that there's hope. Yeah.
And I wonder, what was the breakthrough for you? Because your life could have turned either way with your background. You could either turn for the good or for the bad. But there's a point whereby you met this God and you had a connection with him. You felt that you can trust him with your life, and you've never looked back. No.
I've never looked back. He said, I'll never leave nor forsake you. So that was a promise and a declaration that he made. So I kept him at his word, you know, that I'll never leave. So I decided I can't leave him because he promised not to leave me. I can't move away from where he has placed me, you know. And I learned also not to, you know, torture myself with wanting to please people, because I know that I've got this voice that sometimes I don't understand when I wake up in the morning.
Does your voice even surprise you?
It does, because sometimes when I wake up in the morning, when I speak, like, I'm like, am I a man, or what's happening with me? Because now it's like very down, it's like very big, you know, and when I speak, it's lighter. So some people would be like, but when you speak, it doesn't sound like when you sing, you know, and I'm like, you know, probably the person who's singing is not from this world. It's from another world, just using this body.
I'm telling you, it's an angel.
Let's be honest, modesty aside, no one's going to doubt your modesty for a second. You're in the car, you're driving along, one of your songs come up and you go, that's an amazing, oh, that's me. do you ever go, how did this happen?
There are times where I listen to myself, and there are times where, like, I feel like, no, I don't want to listen to this girl anymore. I want to listen to somebody else. But, you know, I stay in awe. Like, you know, there's a new song in my album, Rebuilding Walls, that says, Omurena wa Poloko. You know, that song, I remember I wrote it in 2020, you know, when we're in the lockdown, you know, and to say, open my eyes so that I may see your grace, you know, and, you know, so that when we sing with understanding.
Right.
We praise with understanding. So definitely that's what is carrying me.
My goodness. So let's take it back. When did the singing journey actually begin for you?
Sure. It began. My mom knew I could sing, probably in the house. You know, your Brenda Fassie, your, you know, your late Miriam Makeba. So I could do a note. But the amazing thing about my voice then, I was like a high soprano. So it was very, very. So then it eventually changed. Sometimes you get some, you know, nods, and they change the voice. You know, so then my voice started changing gradually, you know. But I think I'm loving this one because it's not the same.
You like this version?
Yeah,
I like how you have options.
I'm
like, can I have one voice?
Because then my voice would be like I could rave, you know, to any other, like, you know, the raving, you know, like like. But now, like I'm like this, you know. Yeah, so now I treasure this one.
It's okay. We've actually, you and I have got two kinds of voices as well.
Yeah.
We've got our normal voice, which is this, or I always sound like I've got bronchitis every other day as well. So that's my voice range as
Definitely.
well. So if you had to pick right now, right here,
Yeah.
2021, if memory serves me correctly, that voice of yours and the beauty that you are as well was always going to end up with you on TV. Acting debut. How did that go?
Did you go there?
That far.
You've got to pick one of them right now. I'm joking. How was the act? Because this is, I mean, this must be fairly normal for you having the cameras looking at you.
I know.
But acting's a different thing.
No, acting's a different thing. I had to go through scripts. You know, it was. I would never treasure like that. That moment, I will trade it for the rest of my life. Like I would honor it and cherish it for the rest of my life. It was really amazing, you know, going into character, getting out, and then they tell you this is what this woman is going through, and then you need to cry. So you must find that woman, you know, you must.
It was called Grace, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was called Grace, the series. And, you know, I did that. It was really, really amazing. Like, I think also it taught me so much, you know, about, because like the journey of you know, the whole thing was, you know, this woman this young girl who's gifted and the parents not understanding why she chose to do music rather than any other career.
And also, I think another a different thing for you, like most musicians, was definitely COVID, having to adapt to a pandemic. Obviously, besides your music being accessible for people to find hope, how did you actually manage and cope? What is your defense mechanism, or your coping mechanism? That's really the word that I'm looking for.
It was tough. I think during that time I lost my mom-in-law, and during that time I lost a lot of friends. Yeah, it was a tough year, like tough 2 years. It still is tough, you know, even now. But you know what, you hang in there. You know that, you know what, there's a purpose why you're still alive, why, you know, out of everybody, you know, being swallowed, why you are then, you know, still being able to stand, you know, and while you see that, you need to understand that there's a mandate and a purpose, and you need to leave that, you know, that when your time comes, somebody will say, well done, good and faithful servant. And that was done to me, you know, last weekend when we're at the Sun City, you know. So Pastor Benjamin Dube invited me for the legendary concert, and amazingly, like, I was like, I'm not even a legend, you know. I mean, me, Lady Spirit Black Mambazo, Dr. Rebecca Malope, and the rest, you know, and being honored and saying, you know, your music has been doing well, and like you look at yourself and say, oh God, you know, you still have a plan. You know, it means you're still not done with me.
Right.
So we need to live life and live it to the full, you know. Time is not on our side.
And COVID taught us that,
Yes.
didn't it? I find it
Very
interesting
harsh
as well, because during COVID, a lot of bands that we spoke to that were allowed to come in after, not after COVID, after the lockdown lifted, that they were trying to do the online streaming thing. But music performers, as in whether it's, you know, rap, I'm a piano or whatever it might be,
genre.
didn't quite get the numbers that gospel singers were getting, because I think that people wanted that hope. We're going to have you singing something a little bit later. Still not going to give it away. Before I do that, I've always wanted to ask someone in your position with your talent, do you have those friends that keep on asking you to sing at birthday parties? And can you please record my voicemail? Do people keep, and people in the streets going, hi, please, can Can you
Just
sing
the
something?
verse.
Just quickly.
Just quickly the verse.
Is it annoying?
I think you know them very well. You know them
all
very
have
well.
those friends.
We have those friends. We have those friends.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think they give us hope. You know, they just remind us that you have a gift, and that gift will make room for you. And even if it makes room for you just to sing happy birthday,
Oh, man.
yeah, it's good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear Lebo. And I just have to say that Lebo doesn't know this, but one of my favorite songs to play, especially when I drive out of work, is Mangeloi.
Wow.
Mangeloi is my go-to. I think, and you don't say much in the song, but just Mangeloi ale hodimo ahoa aruahal. Those two lines about, you know, the angels singing to God.
And saying he's holy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because that's what the book of Revelation says. You know, they look at him and then they say, you're holy. And they turn around, you know, they see him looking in a different way. Why I say that is because today he provides food. You know, tomorrow he gives you good health. So when you look at him today, he has been your shield. When you look at him in 15 minutes, he was your protector through that accident that you might have had.
Sure.
When you look at him, he made a way, you know, so that you get that bonus. So like every angle of our lives, when we see him, we need to say, you know, you are good, you are holy. I mean, what else
Is
can
that
you
the
say?
song I'm hearing you playing when you drive out the office?
Yeah.
Because
Like
I'm on the other
Last
side of
Day.
the building, and all you hear is this music and this Mini Cooper
Can I
bouncing
tell you
down the road.
something?
It's obviously your music.
Can
we're
I tell you
hearing.
something? I think I've had someone DM me on LinkedIn saying, I saw you at a traffic light singing alone in your car, shouting, hand gestures, and I'm just like, it must be Mangeloi.
Yeah.
It must be Mangeloi. It takes me there.
She wasn't angry, it was level. That was the thing. Very quickly, you are going to do something special for us later. I
Yes.
don't want to give it away, so please don't leave. We shouldn't do this, but I don't want to give it away. What are you going to sing later?
Sure. Wow. I think I'm singing the song that carried me and carried the nation even before we went into COVID. I think God knew that we were going to go through trials.
Yeah.
And that's why the song would say, you know, under your wings, I am protected. I don't have fear. So if you know the lyrics, you know which song we're talking about.
And that song is coming up just
Definitely.
before we say goodbye this morning. So whatever you do for the next half an hour, phone your boss, tell them you're going to be late.
It's
you
okay. I said you're going to be late, boss.
Tumza said it's fine. You
Everybody's gonna be late
You
today.
can be late for work today. Cannot wait. We've set up all the audio. We even had a sound test. We got a little treat during the break. You haven't, but you'll see it later. Lebo Sekgobela, gospel artist, with us a little bit later. I'll check for tweets maybe later, as I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, it was so good, a conversation. But you know what, with that being said, here's a quick look at your markets this morning.